So behind me is our 1981 Ford F-250 Coachmen camper that just took Ben and I over 5,000 miles across the country and back with 10 days of skiing. What do you think, Benny?
Just don't want to fall off the cliff.
Try not to fall off the cliff. The truck was purchased in August in Massachusetts. Ben and I went down to look at it. It's a 4-speed manual with a 300 inline 6. When we started this trip, I thought there was absolutely no way this truck was coming back to Maine. It did everything and then some, and now I have a total respect for the 300 inline 6 Ford. Absolutely love this thing. Here's a quick little overview of what we lived in for over 2 weeks. So what you're looking at right now is the truck after it just drove 5,000 miles across the country in the winter, so it's covered in salt. But this is the 300 inline 6. I think in my book now it's probably equivalent to the 22 RE and maybe Volkswagen ABA in reliability. This thing has some crazy weird blow-by, some problems with the PCV. We used 10 quarts of oil. All the seals have pretty much blown out. It's got a lot of crankcase pressure. You just keep putting oil in this thing and it just keeps taking it. You would think most motors at this point would just die, blow up, seize. Yeah, there's definitely some problems. It has about 115 horsepower, I think, from the factory new. This probably has 80. It was pretty much 55 miles an hour all the way across the highway to Salt Lake and Wyoming and back. So not a fast trip. So the interior is definitely not 1981 anymore. The previous owner modernized quite a bit of it, repainted everything, redid the kitchen table, bench seat, the upstairs bed. The interior is fully insulated. The roof has been resealed. It's got a propane heater right there below the full refrigerator. It also has a propane stove, an oven. Made some pizza, some cookies. Order up everybody. Here in Billy Bullnose camper.
Billy's buffet.
You take Ryan skiing out west for 2 weeks and he cooks for you for a lifetime. I'm freaking indebted now, folks. I'm indebted. This is where I slept. That little bed here, which converts into a table. And Ben is on the other side, so right up top above the cab. And if you pull this blanket back, you can start driving. Some people look at this and think it's a slide-in, but it's not. It's an actual motorhome. Underneath my head, where I slept, is the battery pack, the inverter, and all that stuff. I couldn't tell you the actual capacity of the battery. That's a Ben thing. But it is hooked up for solar as well. There's no panels on the roof. The alternator recharges this big orange battery pack. So that's enough. And once you're traveling out west doing different ski areas, you have plenty of drive time to recharge the battery. So that ran everything. We needed LED lights, refrigerator, microwave, that kind of stuff. So yeah, everything else propane, and keeps you nice and warm in here. Even if it's like 5 degrees, you can still get it to be around 60, 65 if you're cranking the propane heater. So sitting in this thing right now, obviously classic Ford steering, super turns, lock to lock. It's like driving a semi truck, and the 4-speed manual really keeps you on your toes. It's a single axle with big tires on it, and it's tall. It's almost 12 feet tall. So basically the entire time while driving it, you get crazy amount of sway from passing trucks. Any wind, crosswinds, you're pretty much sawing at the wheel the entire time trying to get the thing to stay straight on the highway. It's a hell of a lot of work. It definitely wears you out, but you can talk on the CB to the truckers, keep yourself awake. So that's a quick overview of the 1981 Ford F-250, which we call Billy the Bullnose. It's a little salty. It just did 5,400 miles of driving, but we'll get it cleaned up and re-prepped for something exciting. Basically, whatever its owner, Ben Spatafora, wants to do with it. It's quite the truck, super rare, and I was happy to live in it for 2.5 weeks. All right, Ben and I have driven the camper to 300 and some feet?
11,307 feet. We're up here on Berthoud Pass.
Yeah, she didn't really like it, but she did it.